Howdy Outfitters. Today we're going to talk about fishing with planer boards for walleye. When I fish with planer boards, a lot of time I run flicker shads, several different sizes, but there's also a couple different sizes of planer boards that I like to use. This board was developed for Lake Pend Oreille for trolling for big rainbows. And the cool part about this board is that you can run multiple lines off this board rather than a board like your traditional offshore side planer board. This board pretty much just runs one line off of it. So with this board, I let it out sometimes about 100, 150 feet, and I have about a 200, 250 pound Dacron attached to it, and then it's attached to a planer board reel, and it goes out the side of the boat. And once it's out there, then you set your lines back as far as you want them. So like you 60, 80 feet, 100 feet, and then once your lure's back there, then you have what's called a larvic release, and this part clips right around the Dacron line, and then this coated alligator clip, you basically stick your fishing line in there all the way up to where the yellow meets. Then you close it, then it'll just sit there, and as you open your spool up, you let it down the line to exactly how far out you want it. And basically you can run 2, 3, 4 lines off of one planer board. So I'm gonna demo that for you right now. All right guys, so what I got here, I got some downrigger tough line, works pretty good. You can also buy planer board line. Anything like 130 pound, 200 pound, 250 pounds seems to work the best. And on this planer board, it has a chain right here. If you attach it more to the front, it's not gonna pull out as far. I usually like to go about 4 lengths back, sometimes 5. And what that does is basically that'll make the planer board go out to the side. And the cool part about this planer board is it'll have its own action in the waves, and that actually give your plug some action too. So normally I have a clip that goes on here, just a big heavy duty snap swivel. Couldn't find it today, or it broke off last time, so I just did a big loop knot on there. So all right, I'm gonna run this out there and let you guys check it out. All right guys, so I got my Dacron line, see it go out there. Planer board's right out there, pretty taut. Get up to your trolling speed wherever you want to be, and then once you're at your trolling speed, then you'll start letting lines out. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line out after I tune my plug, and then I'll show you how to clip it onto this planer board line and then slide it on down. Here's my boys helping me out today. All right, so what we got here, we got this larvic release. They make them in orange and yellow. I always like the orange, tend to be able to see them a little bit better in low light. So when you clip this on the Dacron line, you always want to clip it down like this, not up. So I'm going to clip it down. It'll kind of hang there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now attach the line for my first rod, and then send it down the line. And then when you attach it, what you want to do before you let all your plugs out, you basically want to have your outside line the furthest one out. So if you're going to run 3 lines, do like 100 feet, 80 feet, and 60 feet. Or 80, 70, 60. That way when you hook a fish, it actually, they won't get tangled on each other. So here we go. Now I'll hook up this line, I'll show you how to let it out. Okay, so what we'll do here is I'll take this line, you want to clip it in, and I like to bury it almost all the way up to where that yellow connects, right in there. Now what I'm going to do is open the bail, and I'm just going to let it out, and you can see that line slides right out. And once I get it however far out I want to go on my outside line, I generally almost go all the way to the planer board. I'll let it out. As soon as it gets there, I'll clip it shut, check my drag, turn my clicker on, and then now when a fish hits, what it's going to do, it's going to pull it off that clip, and then you're just fighting a fish without a planer board attached. All right guys, now that we got one out there already, we're gonna run a second one, same thing. This time I will let it out 60 feet instead of 80. Clip it on that line, buried in that clip. And then this one, I'm only gonna let out about halfway from where the other one is. It's right there. And I'll put it in the rod holder. It's ready to go, and that way we're fishing multiple rods at once. So we basically have two rods on this line. You can let out more planer board line, you can fish 3, 4, 5. So it works really well, and especially in the spring when they're hitting flicker shads, they really like it. I'm gonna go over how to use one of these offshore side planers. These work pretty well, especially when you want to spread out and spread out a couple lures. Get more than 2 rods outside of your boat, so this way you can run 4, sometimes 6 if you'd like. So anyway, check this out. Happy to show you guys how to rig these, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so I'm gonna let this one out since we're only in about 15, 16 feet of water. I'm gonna let it out about 40 feet, 50 feet. And then after I let it out, I'm gonna clip this planer board line on, or excuse me, I'm gonna clip this planer board on. And there we go. So then when I clip this planer board on, basically I like to clip the front one first right here, and I like to bury it since I'm running Dacron. So what I'll do is I'll take this line, whatever fishing line you're using, I'll put it in this front clip right here, put it all the way down, and then you have a back clip, which is kind of the same style clip. Pop it in the back, and that way you have two. When a fish hits, a lot of times you just reel in the planer board and unclip them, and if a big fish hits, sometimes they'll pop out and then you have to go retrieve your planer board. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let it out gently. And you can see it kind of starts to pull out to the side. And the trick is if you're fishing planer boards and just lines straight off the back of the boat, you always want to set your planer board lines out first. That way it spreads it out away from the boat. And then when you're ready to run your lines straight off the back of the boat, then you just run your other plugs straight off the back. So anyway, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's a really effective way to fish multiple lines off your boat. And it's a lot of fun too when a fish hits out on that planer board starts yanking back really hard. So all right, we're gonna see if we can get one here. Thanks for checking us out. For more information, visit our YouTube channel. Check us out at north40.com and look up Instagram feed at north40.fish. Thanks, have a great day.